You ever heard of the beer gardens you ever see beer gardens or places that where blondes hang out or like next to a baseball game or something like that?
Yes.
So they created a space that's kind of similar to that where you get beer, coffee, or whatever, and you could also bring your dogs.
Ooh. Oh, so they have like the whole little like park thing. Do they also have food trucks?
It's like a dog park, but it's like a dog park mixed with a beer garden, if that makes sense. So
do they have food trucks?
Huh?
Do they have food trucks?
They don't have food trucks at this thing, but it's almost like they have an embedded food truck. So they do sell stuff there.
Because I think we have one similar down to in Cambridge, and they have like Bark Social. So I realize having a pet is like, depending on how deep you go into it, could be a whole sub niche in itself, like a whole lifestyle thing.
Oh yeah, it's a completely different lifestyle for a lot of millennials.
You know, there's the companies that literally make
money. Make some
money. Stupid money. Like it's crazy.
It's just money. It's like, yo, we gonna get this money or not? Every time it's like, or not. How fast? Because they actually allow, I guess, human beings are getting free. So you get free Wi-Fi there, so you can work there all day. It's kind of like that kind of scenario. And you have to register your pet, your dog, and as well as you have to pay for your dog to get in. And some of them actually are.
How much do you pay for the dog?
Well, in this scenario, it's like $10 for the dog to get in, but you also they have monthly subscriptions for some people as well. So if you live nearby, so you could basically, it's an upscale dog park. If I had to call it something. So it's really cool. The turf is good. And what they make money off of is kind of like all the concessions. You have the food that's subpar, the drinks that are here.
Second one.
You may as well just record this as a short. I don't know.
Okay,
at this point. Yo. Go ahead, lovely. Spirit.
Welcome to the Financial Grill podcast. And this is brought to you by Bark Social.
Hey, wow. Like we ain't getting no sponsorships. You don't even know what it is.
Okay.
This is not happening. Like now people think we're making money. Not right. I ain't never gonna
fake
support
it till you
them.
make it.
They're too big.
Right, exactly. Next thing you know, we really do. And sometimes that's exactly how that starts. Like people get advertisement because they act like they got advertisement, but that's a whole other conversation. But this is a short. Today we're gonna talk about pet culture and how being a second generation. What are we, like second generation, right?
We're first generation still, technically.
Oh yeah,
I think they call us first gens.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about how the differentiation of like how our parents probably looking at us like, oh, we're spending money on pets. Oh, you get called, which means we got money. So we're going to talk about that really quick and just talk about like how does it, I don't have a pet out of all the three of us, but Lawrence and Atlanta do. So I am petless. So I am going to.
It's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. I am
not getting a pet.
Get a dog, die alone. That's what Kevin Sam used to say. Like,
I don't think I will take my children to the zoo. I will show them, but I'm not giving into them getting in the pet. My husband just needs to, if you're hearing this, you're listening to this, you'll figure it out because I am not giving into it. Like he
says that now, but I think to your point, it is a new pet culture. It's changed the last 5 to 10 years, especially during the pandemic, where you saw people just getting a lot of either cats or dogs to keep them company, to keep them psychologically secure, like mentally okay, stable. But is that money?
Yeah, so I'm the one that have the cat. The single.
Use a cat lady. Use a cat lady.
I'm the cat lady. I actually got Bruno November of 2019. It was before.
I don't know. I feel like you've had Bruno for 20 years. Like Bruno.
It was before. Yeah, it was before the pandemic. The last holiday before everything just went crazy, whatnot. But I got him before. But I did see and I noticed as well, Lawrence, with the increased amount of pets, people were going out to adoption agencies and pet places just to adopt pets because during the pandemic, you realize you have more time, you're indoors, or you're looking for more isolated areas that's not too clustered with people. So it would been a great time to have a pet to kind of care for. But this pet costs money. I just dropped $86 on food.
Let's go.
So, Lauren,
Hey, don't get me started with a cat sitter. I got to get a cat sitter.
There's all types of stuff. I want to, yeah, for me, I think we were looking to a dog before 2019. That's something like my wife always wanted. Her sister has at least had a dog. So the other two sisters end up getting a dog themselves. So this has always been like an entire journey for the family. But ultimately, I've seen, just the proliferation, I'm going to use big words here, of like pure pet culture in the US, to the point where when I went to the airport recently, there's also like a dog restroom now. There's literally a dog restroom. That was the wildest thing I've ever seen. I'm like, so you got like the human beings, the woman, the man, and then there's like a dog area. I'm like, oh, shoot, we leveled up.
So before we get deep into this, I got to bring the stats. I got to bring the numbers. So the pet care market specifically, is a $207 billion industry as of 2020. I want to say that
it's coming up. It's coming up.
100+ billion, not million, B with the capital B. And that's only the segmentation of North America. So that tells you that's not the whole world. So that means just in North America alone, $200+ billion is being spent on pet care.
Oh, entire aisles, like
70% of the US homes owns a pet.
Entire aisles. Like I went to Walmart, when I was down in Tallahassee, do the whole rental stuff. I passed by like the pet aisle or something, or because it was next to the, the cleaning supplies, and you get the pet aisle, and it's massive. There used to be small sections where you could, like you had to it was niche at one point. You had to go to PetSmart, whatever it is, and then Walmart started getting them, retailers started carrying them. But now there's entire sections for pets, period. Entire rows for pets. So it's not just like, it's actually overtaking what they call ethnic food. That aisle, ethnic food is basically becoming bigger than that right now. And you're completely right. I tried, at least in 2020, when I saw like people just, going crazy to go get pets. I'm like, I need to get some stocks in pets. I think that's part of the problem that we see. When we understand the trend, we got to get to the point where we become investors, right? Not just the people that spend money in it, but also the people that, invest in the idea, because these people are going to make money. Bark Social, which is what got us to this conversation, is like a mix between like a coffee spot, like a beer garden, plus like almost a luxury version of a dog park. They got the entire layout. You can even look it up online whenever you guys get a chance to. It's called Bark Social. They have two locations in DC. It's really cool. They got like the fake turf. They got the beer that's expensive. They got the water out there. They got Wi-Fi. So people could literally spend the entire day there.
So
because once you get in, they don't do anything, huh?
Gentrification of Lawrence life here.
Oh yeah, the pure. Hey, if I lived next to there, I'd probably subscribe, because people actually do the monthly subscriptions as well. To Atlanta's point, it is money over money. I'll go to the vet. She looks at me. She brings me like a list of like stuff, and she said, "Are you okay with this?" Before they actually do anything on the dog, because they know they're gonna charge you anyways. They charged me $30 for a visit that probably was like maybe 10-minute max. On top of that, like for this new medication,
have to get vaccination, right?
Oh yeah, we had to get the vaccination. That's money. Then they had like this flea and heartworm medicine. That's $120 for a 6-month supply. We had to give him a new bed because now he's a little bit bigger. So obviously you got to get a bigger bed. That's like $60 off rip, because we just can't get him the cheap stuff. Like, hey, this is a whole new world. By the time it's said and done,
you think you're going to spend over $5,000 for the pet for the year?
On average, it's $250 per month.
Okay.
Because with grooming and stuff like that, like if we just had to average it out, it'd be around $200 per se, but it's around like $250, because especially in the first year, because you're getting them toys, you're getting them situated, you're getting the vaccination, all these one-time fees. And to Atlanta's point, eventually now you can't even travel anywhere. You can't really do much because, hey, you can't just leave town and your pet's at home. They'll call you an animal. Like they'll call you the animal.
So what do you do? Do you get pet sitters?
Yeah, so I just recently booked a pet sitter, and I use the app called Rover. my best friend has 2 dogs for her family. So she told me about it. And basically it's just pet sitters. They'll come to your house, or you can just schedule like a walk if you have a dog, or if you can do boarding. If you want to, or if you are traveling, you can place your pet into someone else's home while you're gone. They're watching over your pet. So it's almost like an alternative from going to the regular border places that have the brick and mortars. This like a middle person where you can just pay directly to that person. It's a great side hustle, frankly, because what, 3 days? Yeah, 3 days, I'm dropping $150 to this person, right? And then there's like other fees if you want to do, because it was more for me simply because I want to just save on the gas and the time. So she's driving here to pick up Bruno. So Bruno is my pet. This is a short hair British short hair cat. And I got him in November of 2019 before the pandemic. And I just thought, I'll learn to do this. I could do this, I do that. So I purchased my pet from a breeder because I want a specific pet. So I got Bruno from a breeder, and not doing too much of research, I found out he was just sick all the time. He was just sick. And I was accumulating all these credit card debt because we were trying to figure out what was wrong with him. We're constantly going to the vet. So I was going to Bansfield Hospital, which is, if you are aware where that is, it's within, PetSmart. They have the vet there as well. And we're just really trying to figure out, just x-rays was like $150. We had to do a urine test. And then, it was advised to me, it'll be best to just purchase the medical insurance for him because it covers the office fees. And the only thing you have to pay is the like medical costs, like, prescription, over the counter, that sort of things, whatnot. So it does save you a lot of money. So my budget, for him is give and take between $200 or $300, depends on, if I had to buy pet food, especially when it comes to the medical costs as well, because you just never know how much it'll be, because, a few months ago he had urinating, blood. We had to figure that out too. So it's a lot, and and people who's listening, like, oh, why won't just leave him alone? I can't do that. I have done that in the past. I think max he can go without human interaction 2 days. I do see the difference. He can go without human interaction 2 days. After that I don't think is good for his well-being, to be honest with you. And honestly, I just don't want to leave him here by himself for the max amount of time. It's not like an hour drive. I'm going somewhere. I'll be gone for an entire weekend. It's over 3-hour drive. And I don't have anyone close in proximity to check in on him. So I think it's just best for him to be with someone else while I'm gone. But just all those expenses and things that are coming up, I'm just like, yeah, I have a little mini human in my hands right now.
I can feel it now. I feel it. Like, I remember what they used to say. It's like, oh, it's like a member of the family. I'm like, based on the cost, it becomes the member of the family. There's no way.
And people ask me all the time, how's Bruno? My mom asks me, how's Bruno? People ask me all the time. So I have substitute my cat for actual little baby at this point. But yeah, it's accumulate costs, and you just have to be very careful too, because although Bruno is a young cat, which is he's 3? He's 3 years old, but he has dental costs as well. And it's best to kind of get those preventable issues if it becomes something in the future. So I'm more of a proactive type of person. So I'm always constantly making sure his vaccine up to par, comprehensive analysis, everything that he needs. Because when he does get to that age, cat live a little bit longer. But when he does get to that age, it will come to a point where some things just not preventable, right? Just
me and dogs had a traumatic experience in Haiti, and I was like, you know what, doggies, yeah, I could stay over there and I could stay here. I think that they're cute. Both Bruno and Brownie has Instagrams, living their best lives. So I will watch from afar, enjoying it, but I'm gonna leave y'all to the expenses and leave my nice lifestyle Instagram alone. Y'all would not be seeing any pets. The closest thing will be my little aquarium fish tank. That's it.
So listen to us right now. Our pets have Instagram. You know how wild that sounds?
Yeah, no, it's different. I think that was the whole point of this thing, because we started off, I guess we're, like you said, we're first generation. I grew up, majority of my childhood was in Haiti. And yeah, this was not a thing. If a dog was around, I think we had a dog. Like the dog it strolled in, it ate scraps whenever he ate scraps, and he left wherever he goes. We didn't take him to no vets. We didn't get none of that stuff. He was just the dog. It wasn't that serious. Nobody bought him toys. Nobody get all that stuff. You didn't have to play with him that much. It was just wild dogs. That's what we had. So to see that, I guess throughout our lifetime, how we got to the point where now a lot of millennials, Gen Zers, whatnot, they got their own pets. Their pets got social media. It's wild. It's a different time, because our parents, we look at the dog like, like, give them rice and beans and keep it moving.
It's funny also that you mentioned earlier about the increase with people owning pets, but also with the expansion, because it is opportunity in industry for pet owners and pet companies, right? So I'm a typical, reoccurring user and client of chewy.com. So Chewy, just think of it as like on Amazon for pets, right? They typically just have things on auto ship. You can sign up for that. They do have subscriptions too, depending on what you need. I have a lot of discounts, and honestly, I could get my items almost overnight, like within 2 days. That's why I call them like a equivalent to Amazon. And when I was like looking at how much I spend on Chewy on the website, I'm just like, why won't I just invest in a stock with this company? So when I looked it up, their quarter back in, I think 2018, 2019, just an expansion. But they really hit the ground running when the new owner, the new CEO, thought of it as like an automated system for pet owners. And it absolutely worked, because not only the auto ship, because you can actually go online and say that, well, I need this every 4 weeks. I need this every 2 weeks. And every time I'm forgetting, they're sending you these emails, like all this comprehensive things, very, very easy, things you don't even think about sometimes. So their expansion and the growth opportunities that they have, I'm just like, yeah, I think I need to go ahead and hold on to this stock and invest in them, because I'm a pet owner. Why not just invest in the company directly? And I'm spending money with them anyway. So some kind of share, some kind of profit in that too, need to think about as well, because right now they're booming. I think they're in works of getting more of like the, shares of every other market for pets. So they're really growing. I think that's something I'm always going to look into. What's the investment opportunity being a pet owner?
Yeah, I'm looking into it right now. I'm like, it's still fairly cheap too. It gets you some Chewy
I know,
for like
still
$38,
very cheap. Yeah,
$38 per share. It's not even at the highest where it was in mid 2021. It was upwards to $118 per share. Whoever bought in mid 2021 is feeling that hurt. But if you want to get back on this train, it ain't a bad situation. But this was another good short that we had. It's just us sharing what we've seen, especially when it comes to pet culture, the shifts, the changes in how household are adding an additional plus 1.5 or whatever, a half, and are living their lives differently than our prior contemporaries. So I'm personally, I'm enjoying this, the process. I do love my pet. And yeah, I'm a little salty every time he costs money, especially when he goes to get groomed. His grooming is like $100. I don't even get haircuts. This guy get the haircuts for $100.
Does he get it every week? Because
so it was every month, but now we're pushing it to every 6 months. Oh no, 6 weeks, every 6 weeks.
Oh, because we don't typically get it like twice a year or something.
Nah, see, dogs, their hair kind of grows, so you have to kind of do that and also kind of brush it out so it doesn't get matted. It depends. Some dogs don't have that kind of thing, but this breed, it does, and you kind of want to get it groomed.
And let me tell you guys something too. There's a entrepreneur state that's going on here, and it's an opportunity if you do like pets. There's rover.com if you want to do like extensive services for pet owners. But I also seen the other day, ironically enough, mobile grooming, like a van that actually come to your house to groom your pet and do all the services, where they don't even need a brick and mortar now. They'll come to you to do everything that you need.
great opportunity for like high school kids as well as college kids. It's, if you're in college right now, you learn how to groom some dogs. People are paying top billing for that sucker. Like, you think about like an hour of work for like $100, or $100 plus on a dog. Easy money.
Let me tell you guys
Easy
too,
money.
if you're listening and it's something that you may just think about, look into grooming for cats too, because there's not a lot of cat groomers. I'm always looking for cat groomers. I have one lady I go to, which is great, but either they only do dogs, which is a lot, but a lot of them do not do cats. So just opportunity as well. So let's try to do both, because you'll be highly in demand. Trust me.
With that being said, we're going to wrap up this episode of the Financial Grill yet again. We are always here. We're going to probably be at FinCon, but it seems like Lovely wants to go talk to Barack Obama. Hey, I can't blame her.
Why would you do that?
Blame her. Hey, I saw the list.
We didn't have the conversation yet.
I saw the list. I was like, damn, she ain't coming no FinCon. She looked at us like, oh, it's a hard decision, guys. Yes.
She made up her mind.
It is.
Tell me the pros and cons.
We'll have this conversation off air. See you all later. Thank you so much for listening to the Financial Grill podcast. You can find me on Lovely Mordellis anywhere, on LinkedIn, Instagram, and now on TikTok, because my TikTok used to be Like I Lovely, but now it's Lovely Mordellis. Where could they find you?
You got TikTok? Wow. Well, they could find me on my website, www.theneighborhoodfinanceguy, as well as on IG, The Neighborhood Finance Guy, the entire word. Do not misspell it. I know some of you people went to HBCUs, but hey, you can actually do the effort. Look at Atlanta shaking her head.
At least we know what's record. Yeah, you can find me on the IG street at Atlanta_Elson. All our IG handles will be on the show notes. But yeah, just reach out to us. Follow, request, send us a DM. And hopefully you can also find all of us at FinCon this year in Orlando, Florida. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to another great episode of the Financial Grill. We're out.
Thank you for listening to the Financial Grill podcast, powered by the Wealth Builders Collective.